Good morning, everybody, book lovers, J-Stu crew out there. I really hope Justin and Rick see this, and I do apologize if I spoil anything out of this book if you've not read this book. I am reading, I think I'm in chapter 4, The Blobs Crash Land by Justin Stewart and Rick Douglas. Illustrated by Rick Douglas. I just realized that J. Stu is Justin's initials, kind of. But where does it end? I don't know, but like, I liked it. I mean, this is volume 1. Hope volume 2 comes out soon. But I did this with the last book they had, and I will keep on buying their books. And hopefully one day I will get the autograph. And I could have spent a little extra, like $6 more to get an autograph, but I didn't want to spend that much because it would cost like 24 bucks for shipping and everything. Chapter 4, Crash Landing. Warning, system malfunction located nearest planet. The pod's screens frequently scanning for a nearby landing spot. Dang, this is a long chapter. Alrighty then. I thought you said we had to stay away from all the planets, Chubb shouted at the intercom, eyes wide with panic. The ship's navigation system displayed a new destination. Coordinates 473.880 XED. Doodle Blop in the Bellows Galaxy. Estimate crash landing time 4 minutes 27 seconds. The robotic voice announced without emotion. Not robotic voice, sorry. Wilby's face drained of color. Did that thing just say crash landing? Chubb's guess, clutching his plants like they were life rafts. Every face reflected disbelief. The pod shook violently. Wilby let out a scream that sounded like it belonged to a little girl, and the panic inside the pod skyrocketed, and every face swirled to Kadetsky, waiting for him to do something. Time to improvise. We need to stay calm, Kadetsky shouted over the noise. Everyone, buckle up. This pod was designed for this. I hope he added in his head. Designed to crash land, Wilby shrieked, while Chubbs hyperventilated into a small bag, somehow still managed to hold on to his precious plants. This is Chubbs right there, holding on to his little bot plant and his plants in a bag, looks like. And I will show you guys pictures. So if you guys want to read this, go ahead, go read it. It's Barnes & Noble. You can buy it on the website. You can buy it on Amazon. Precious Collections, I think, is where you can buy it. Signature, different colors. Hey, Justin and Rick, if you guys are listening to this or somehow you guys watch this, is there a way you guys can send me a signed autograph on this one and your J-Stu book, Justin? Just asking, please. And I know I'm just a small guy in the YouTube universe, and I'm hoping this gets to you somehow. Oh, and congratulations, Reese. Or not Reese. Your manager, I can't think of her name, for having a baby soon, within a couple weeks, I think. Congratulations, anyways. Oh, and hold on. I'll talk to you guys in another video. No designed to safely land us, even in the worst case scenario. Kadetsky looked from blob to blob, trying to instill some confidence in them. Through the window they saw the planet gray with swirling blue and purple hues coming towards them at alarming speed. Brace for impact, Kadetsky yelled. Everyone gripped their seats, eyes squeezed shut. The pod hurled towards the unknown planet, and all they could do was hold on for dear life. In the dark control room, a green arm with a white glove pointed to the screen. Sir, we have an incoming vessel headed towards the fluorescent forest. What should we do? Metallic voice asks. There's the planet. I know it just looks black and white and it gives you the details, but I want to point out how the illustrator and the people they go through can get a picture and these words like this. It's kind of cool. Like, I've tried this and I can do it. It's very difficult, but again, Rick and Justin and the Crooks Studios, David C. Cook, if you guys remake this, please put the pictures in color. Just saying. All right. And if you guys come up with the idea, and I will voice my opinion, I will want to take. I know you guys probably thought about that before, but I want to take some credit. Just saying. And probably everyone that's been reading this, got this, probably already has thought of this. A shadow figure in the chair slowly turned face the screen. Send some troops. I want them captured, Lord Zord commanded, his voice cold and calculated. Yes, sir. The soldiers rushed to carry out the order. Smoke filled the air as the chromium pod's doors creaked open with a loud whoa. Guys, you gotta see this. Wilby jumped out to the ground one by one. The other blobs scattered out unharmed, but shaken from the crash. Goose Bob brought in his sore arm, grunted. Well, that was the worst flight ever. Yeah, now our pod's totally wrecked. Zelma added, kicking a bit of debris. It's not gonna fly again. That's the picture of the crash landing pod. Looks like a whale in water. Again, see, I know color probably costs much, but if you had all this color, it would tell a story so much better. That's the only issue I have with this book, Justin and Rick. I tried the communication systems. It's down too, Kadetsky said. We can't call Blob Force and tell them what happened. I hope we're not one of those unknown planets with hostile species they warned us about. Chubbs gripped Lobster in his arms. The plant bot emitted a small beep. The blobs fell into stunned silence, taken into the eerie alien world. The ground was strange, a mixture of dirt and blob and gooey pockets that hiss as the blobs step in on them. A subtle gray haze floated over the landscape like most mist over swamp, and the trees looked as if they'd been struck by lightning, their bark glowing. Even plants were bizarre compared to what the blobs were used to back home. They resemble lava lamps with thick, jiggling globs glowing inside transparent leaves. Zelma rested her hands on her waist. So, Kadetsky, what are we supposed to do next? Yeah, Wilby blurted. What did Blob Force training say to this situation like this? Caught off guard by the question, Kadetsky paused to think, they have a protocol for situations just like this. Let me remember my training. Kadetsky paced back and forth, trying to improvise a plan that would make sense. Zelma watched her eyes narrow. Fake until you make it, here to himself. What would someone in the Blob Force do? If only I spent more time reading the Blob Force test manuals than hovered disking at the park. Kadetsky halted and scanned the wreckage, lips pressed together in a grim line so he would appear thoughtful and serious about his mind was spinning. What kind of shrubbery is this? Chubbs asked. Lobster interpreted Kadetsky's frantic thoughts. Chubbs stroked the glowing bubble-like leaves. I've never seen anything like it in my almanac of vegetations. Lobster beat and blurb while running a string of symbols across the screen. Oh wow, no kidding, Chubbs replied. That's so cool. You can understand that thing, Zelma asked, her voice ringing with amazement. Lobster, not a thing, Chubbs knelt to dig one of the plants right out of the ground. It took me a while to translate the different sounds lobsters makes into a language I can understand, but I finally got the hang of it. A few feet away, Wilby poked at the unusual vegetation, captive by the glowing, transparent leaves and the floating globs inside. Amazing, he whispered to himself, plucking the largest leaf and slipping into his pocket with a grin. Gadetsky was losing them. He stepped forward, raising his voice so that it boomed over the alien landscape. Hey, focus everyone. Since our comms are down, that leaves us only with only options. We need to split up and explore our surroundings. That got Chubb's full attention. Split? Oh, he yelled, his eyes wide with panic. I'll be glad to split up. Goosebumps crumbled, garling in Willoughby's direction. Though Gadetsky was trying to appear confident out on the outside, the reality of the situation was sinking in. They were 5 young blobs and a plant bot alone on an unfamiliar planet with no way to connect Blob Force. Pretending to be in the Blob Force can be about getting the others to keep them all safe, keep them alive, and hopefully help them off this planet so they could meet up with the rest of the blobs on the new world. Their responsibility weighed on his mind, but there was no room for hesitation. Chubbs and the others were counting on them to get them out of this. It was time for them to step up for real. Okay, here's the plan. Gadetsky pointed towards an open pasture. Chubbs, you and Zoma explore north of the pod. Goosebumps and Willoughby, you two head southwest. Check out this swampy area over there. Yay, swamp! Willoughby cried. Gadetsky gestured toward the distance, jagged red range of peaks, when he realized with a sinking feeling that there were only 5 blobs in the group. He swallowed hard at what he was about to say. Next, well, maybe himself say, I'll go by myself to scout what's behind those mountains in the east. By yourself, Chubbs speak. In his horror, Chubbs almost dropped Lobster, who emitted a loud wobble. There aren't enough for everyone to be paired up, and I don't want anyone else to make the risk. Gadetsky said, hoping he sounded braver than he felt. We'll all meet back here when the plant's sun. Gadetsky pointed to it in the sky. Is over there. I'm guessing that gives us a couple hours. Chubbs went pale and shuffled his feet. I don't know, guys. How about we just take a break and relax for the night? His voice waved as if he hoped someone would agree. I agree with Gadetsky, Zoma cut it in, surprising everyone. We can't just sit around. Let's go see if we can find something useful. Plus, it's fun to explore the unexplored. Goosebumps groaned at her unfailing interest in the adventure. Snatching up Lobster, Chubbs let out a nervous squeak and scurried over after her. Okay, coming, wait up! Everyone started out in different directions, across the swampy, humid terrain, each hoping to find something, anything that could save them from this disaster. As Gadetsky picked his way between pockets of bubbly pools, someone watched him through a pair of binoculars. One of the glitchy commanders muttered into his communication device, "We've located target. Moving in." Gadetsky rubbed his arms. Why did I let them think I'm a Blob Force? I have no idea what I'm doing, he muttered, self-doubt invading his mind. He picked his way way carefully between patches of some kind of oozing, steaming substance. Steps. Pause, step, from behind him came squeak, pause, squeak, pause, squeak. Gadetsky whipped around. There was nothing behind him except bubbling goo. He faced forward and plodded on. Silence, then squeak, 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 squeak. He whirled and scanned the jagged blue rocks and skipped around him, trying to find the source of the noise. But nothing stood out. Suddenly, a crack, a blinding arc of electricity like a bolt of lightning struck the cliff walls above him. He spun in a circle, eyes darting everywhere. Don't move, or else, a voice hissed from directly behind him. Gadetsky froze his eyes and widened with fear. That's chapter 4. Again, Justin, you wanted to detail and added pictures to make it so much better. And I mean, it's like, great job. That's all I gotta say. Great job. Chapter 4. Hopefully, I'm not gonna read this daily like I did with the J Stu book, but I will read it whenever I can. So, you have a great Monday.